Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be taking a look at firing the AIM-9 in the RAZBAM AV-8B. Now I need to apologise as this is my second video replacing the previous version, as one, I believe my previous video was subpar even for my standards, and two viewers brought up some vital info that I feel that needed to be added to the video. So I'll be thanking those individuals as and when it comes to showing you that. So as with the previous video, the setup is me in an AV-8B carrying 4 AIM-9 mics on stations 1, 2, 6 and 7, trailing behind a Rogue Nation MiG-29 Alpha carrying 4 R70s. So let's jump into the cockpit. Right, so the first thing I'll do once I get out of pause is to switch on the master arm, of course, and then we are going to get into the different HUD modes for the AIM-9. The first one of which will be the Boresight mode, and once I get out of pause I can delve into that a bit more. So the first bit of information that I needed to add from the previous video, thanks to WebWeaver, is the IR cooling switch, which is located here. Now what this does, it enables the pilot to manually apply IR detect cooling to the Sidewinder seekers for pre-flight operation or as backup mode in case of the SMC failure. Now clicking on the IR cool applies cooling to all Sidewinder stations, in this case 1, 2, 6 and 7, and also works for the sidearm as well, the AGM-122, but that will come in another video. It must be off prior to flight. Can be applied afterwards, obviously, and it just purely provides IR cooling to the seeker heads of the AIM-9 or the sidearm. Now I'll apply that once I get out of pause again, and then the second bit of information that I want to add is was added by a comment by Tom Turner, so thank you to Tom, for the dual mode tracking slaving to the different HUD modes. So for that we're going to need to use the sensor select switch aft, and what we'll do is we will select that twice to get into the TV mode. So to do this we are going to need to look at the controls. So if we go to we're going to need Sidewinder SEAM. This is for Sidewinder expanded acquisition mode. You'll need to assign that to a button on your Hotas. You'll need to assign Sidewinder Boresight to a button on your Hotas. Cage uncage and sensor select switch aft for laser spot tracking and TV. For the dual mode tracker you'll need that assigned, and also you'll need a fire button to get the AIM-9 off the rail, obviously. So with the controls looked at, let's get into it. Okay, so like I said before, master arm on, IR cooling. Going to get into Boresight mode. As you can see, stations 1, 2, 6 and 7 are now selected. You can see I've got Boresight here, and the seeker head of the AIM-9 is slave to the Boresight of the aircraft. If I click cage, it will cage it back to Boresight mode. We drift back in, okay, and back into Boresight mode if we cage that. So yeah, basically it just slaves to the Boresight of the aircraft. So wherever the nose is pointing, the nose of the seeker is also pointing, so we can cage that back again, and then when you're ready you can fire Fox 2. Splash 1 MiG-29. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset it, and then I'm going to show you how to slave the dual mode tracker to the next mode. Now on to SEAM mode, Sidewinder Expanded Acquisition mode. Now once I come out of pause, I will master arm up, IR call, select the SEAM mode on the HUD, and then what I'm going to do is slave the dual mode tracker TV mode onto the SEAM mode on the HUD, so we can make a visual ID on the target as we get a zoomed in look on the MPCD here. So we'll unpause, master arm on, IR call on, SEAM mode on. First thing you'll notice is that Boresight is slightly bigger and that the seeker head is now rotating on a gimbal anti-clockwise. Now we won't get an instant lock until that rolls up on the target. To get the DMT up, we need to sensor select ARF twice. This is laser spot track mode. We'll want to push it again to get our TV mode, and then what will happen is once I lock onto a target, we can get a better view of what we're up against. As you can see, that's a MiG-29. If the smoke didn't give it away, I don't know what would have. So if I cage that back to Boresight, okay, and try again, there we go, back on. So we get a good visual ID on the target. The only problem is now I've alerted him to my presence, so we may he may do a UE on me and come straight for me. So I'm going to speed up, I'm going to uncage, just show you the Boresight. If I go over it with the Boresight, don't get an instant lock until, like I say, the seeker head rolls up onto it. So as you can see, we're getting closer, it's getting bigger on the MPCD here, and it's very handy. Obviously when you're firing infrared missiles, it doesn't differentiate between friend or foe, so getting a visual ID is a very good idea. So he's on a defensive now as he's firing flares, so I'm going to Fox 2, and again I'm going to get slightly ahead of him, Fox 2, see if we can dodge those flares. I think he's done a good job of that. We need to get into a better position. Damn it. I messed up there. Come on. Box 2. Box 2. Come on. Yes. Splash 1 MiG-29. So that was both Boresight and Sidewinder Expanded Acquisition mode, and also slaving the dual mode tracking TV mode to that, using the IR cooling to keep the seeker heads nice and cool. Now I think I've covered everything. Again, if I haven't, please comment, and I won't be making another video. This is final, but anything that I'll need to add will be commented at the bottom. So yeah, thanks again to Webweaver and Tom Turner for bringing those two bits of information to my attention. Hopefully I've covered those accurately enough, and made air-to-air combat in the AV-8B a little bit more interesting. So with that, I will say goodbye. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.